Come on. Oh, here. Right here. Come on. Right here. So here's your notes, right? And I'm gonna sit over here. So let me explain a couple of these things about the circle with a horse. Come here, Indy. Come over here. Check this out. Take a look at these notes. See? And the reason why I'm using him, you can see he's got a brand on his neck. He's the only Mustang that I have. So he actually knows what it's like to live wild and free without any anyone else's opinions other than horses, right? But now he's in the human world, so there's two different opinions here. There's his, the horses, and mine, the humans. So that's why, and you see I got him on the right. Hey, come here. Come on. Right over here. Check this out. Read what I got there. So, and so you see he's on the right and I'm on the left. Now I don't know if that's something that is really correct in other aspects of today, and I'll get to some of that later, and you'll see what I mean about right and left. But you got to understand something. He's only on the right from where you're looking. If I move the camera over there, I'm on the right and he's on the left. The other thing I want you to understand is I put this here specifically because it's round. See, it has no sides. So there is no right and left. And if I move here and put him there, and from where you're looking, then we're both right in the middle, right? So, and I'll refer to more of that later. So, let me ask you, have you ever actually researched the reason for circling, round penning, or lunging a horse and the circle? Have you ever done any research on it? Oh, I kind of searched it a little bit, just out of curiosity. But you know that, hey, right here, important stuff here. So, you know, and it's under the theory that that's what the stallion does in order to get his herd established, right? But there's a couple things here that you got to understand. And there is actually a start and an end to what I call the vicious circle. So don't be so concerned that those guys are going up on the hill. Hey, you got to pay attention here. So the beginning of the circle is here in the middle. The end of the circle is here in the middle. Because there's certain things that he brings to this table, and there's certain things that I bring to this table. And when you're not paying attention, I make sure that you need to be paying attention here, just because the other horses are moving around out back. So, I'll tell you one thing about the facts of the matter is, when getting back to the stallion and stuff, there you go, now you're interested. So, the stallion, he has no ropes. He has no round pen. Let your curiosity get the better of you. Not so much about out back. So those are the facts. And now from me, of what I've done with training horses, I know one thing, that circle, there's a couple things about the circle. You ever wonder why they round pens are 60 feet? You know, you got this 30-foot distance, you know, 30 foot, 30 foot. Same thing with ropes. They have a tendency to be 30 feet or 25 feet, you know, because that circle with a horse, when it's right, it never gets any bigger than 60 feet. See? this is something. This is something that a human has actually learned from messing with a horse. They taught him about the circle, or from watching other horses, right? So the human says, "Wow, I can shorten things up. I make it easy for me. I establish a round pen, or I use ropes to control the circle." But the thing is, you got to understand with a horse, and if you played with enough horses, that 30-foot circle, you know, the 60-foot circle, 30-foot radius, is something that the horse gives to you. You don't give that to that horse. And I'll tell you this much, out of all the horses that I've worked, there's only about 5 horses that have given me this. And as far as I know, I think I only have one on videotape that I'm going to show you. I'm going to cut a couple short clips, maybe about a minute or two, and add it to this video. So you'll see. That horse is actually circling on its own. I don't ask it to leave, but that 60-foot circle is the herd. Really, there's safety. You know, depending on the size of the herd, they understand that outside of that 60-foot circle, it's not good. So those horses that are, I want to say, more insecure or not too sure about what I have to offer, or even what a stallion has to offer as far as leadership. See? So once I establish this, you don't see a stallion once you establish it. Come to the middle. This is the best place. Be near me. It's the best place. I don't ever send them out on the circle, and I never send a horse out on the circle anymore. Because once that's established, meet in the middle. Our opinions and views on life, sure, they differ. So I have to meet his needs, because he's, you know, energy scares the crap out of him, but I understand energy better than he does. The other thing is, he understands awareness better than I do, because horses are born with it. The minute they hit the ground, they become aware of their surroundings. And that's primarily anything outside of the circle. See, if they leave that circle, they're in, because of the safety of the herd is unity, together. So, you know, like I said, this table's round for specific reasons, because there are no sides. But we have to be here, and yes, I might have to give up a little bit of something in order to make sure that he's happy here. See, this is what happens when people start taking sides. Even people or horses, you start taking more than what you're giving. Well, the other party doesn't want to be there. Oh, party. Politics? See, he's on the right, I'm on the left. In reality, that's probably not right. I should probably be over there. But I understand this about politics. That, oh, see, I got horses right here. So I'm going to tell them, hey. Come on, back over here. Come on. Right over here. So, see? I started talking about politics and him being on the right and me being on the left. He goes, I don't want to be on the right. I want to be on the left. I don't care. That's fine with me, because there are no rights and lefts here. This is a circle. The only thing that matters is that we're here discussing things. See? So, you know, and I'll just throw a couple things out there, you know, like, and I know some of you people have heard it before, you know, get your horse to do more while you do less. Well, that's a little bit of dictatorship, isn't it? I mean, I learned a lot from this specific person that I'm talking about here. And the other factor is I watched somebody post a video of a woman working two horses circling going in opposite directions, right? But the woman is standing in the middle doing nothing. And they're calling it a dance. I'm sorry, it's not a dance because you're not involved. Yeah, the horses are dancing, but you're not doing squat. You're a damn dictator. See, everything revolves around me. The vicious circle. Same thing with uh, politics. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, I really don't give a crap because neither one of them are given an inch. We all want it our way or the highway. Otherwise, we're not going to sit at the table with you. So of course, yeah, if we're divided, sure, I'm going to take sides, just like him. If we separate, he wanted to go mess around with Val because Val came riding in over here. See, he'd much rather be messing around with his own. You know, they all have the same thoughts on how they survive and everything. But you got to understand, we live together. So I don't want this separation crap. I'm not gonna. And when I was talking about that woman with circling the two horses, you got to understand the difference of what a conditioned response is versus a mutual. You know, you don't know how many circles those horses have run. Someone has actually made them run. I don't make a horse run. I give him the option like he did there. And then if he does run, I show him that in this world of us living together, Democrats, Republicans, whatever, you can't be out there running around saying, no, I want it my way. No, you have to be here. This is the negotiating table. And the longer and the more you understand that, stay in the middle. You know, as I said before, stand close to me. That's right. See, so it didn't take very long for me to get him to understand the fact. I went down there and said, hey, you can't do that in this world. And that's the end of it. Come back to the table. This is where we settle all those issues about what you want, what I want, and we come to a mutual understanding. So, and I don't know if I mention it on any of my YouTube clips, but in my training videos I mentioned that. Be careful after you start playing with this. Don't be too quick to correct a horse when he leaves you because there's this 20, 30-foot distance away from you. If he goes more than 30 feet, he's leaving you. That's their circle, that 30 foot. This is something that a horse will give to you. See, the more you play with this stuff at Liberty, you come to realize the fact that give him that option to go to 30 feet. And you'll see, once that horse gets to that 30-foot mark, or right around that 30-foot mark, he's either going to make a decision to go, oh no, that doesn't work in this world, and he's going to come back to the middle, or he's going to take off. So he understands the fact that this is where safety is. It's the same thing when you ride a horse, because they bring awareness to the human, because we're not born with it. So I have to stay aware of the fact that as you move, that circle, it only stays at 60 feet. Everything outside is 60 feet, or 30 feet in either direction from the center of the circle. That's their awareness. There's danger out there. So when you ride, you want to try to keep this as much in the center of that 60-foot circle, and ride carrying that whole 60-foot circle with you. You start gawking around, and all of a sudden you feel like that 60-foot circle is stopped, but yet this little one, you and the horse, have keep going. You get to the outside of it because of your lack of awareness, and all of a sudden the horse jams on the brakes because he says, you ain't been paying attention to what's out there. So, I don't know what else I wanted to say here, but I think I covered a lot of the bases. But, goes the same way. You start looking around at life once you establish this. It's like relationship, man, woman. Uh, hey, you got to give a little bit, but you got to get a little bit. The thing is, when you give a little bit, you're not going to have all your wants and needs. You're not going to have them all. Learn to settle and give some to make sure that the woman stays comfortable, and the woman's got to understand the fact that I'll give you your primary concerns, but you got to give me some too. You know, and in politics, if those dinks don't learn to sit in the middle, which they're not doing, that's why you have all this. See, the Republicans want to have a all Republican Senate and House and have a Republican president, and the Democrats want the same, because then they say, screw you. You sit out there. We don't want you in the middle. We're going to run the whole country. I don't care whether it's Democrat or Republican. They're not meeting in the middle. And you do that with a horse, and every time a person doesn't get what they want, they send them out on the circle. I don't send them out on the circle. Stay here. We'll sort it out. You have the freedom to leave and tell me that, okay, you're not meeting my needs. And if he leaves the circle, that was his decision to leave the circle. I didn't put him out there. So then I explained to him that that doesn't work out there, running around, going, oh, I don't want to live the way you want to live. But he's telling you that because you're not meeting his needs. Or you're not meeting the woman's needs. Or the Democrats aren't meeting the Republicans' needs. Or vice versa. See, that's the vicious circle. And that's why I don't circle horses anymore. Yeah, I let them run away from me. So you'll see, I'll put that clip in, and you'll see this horse does a 60-foot circle around me without me ever asking it to do nothing. What it did, I came to the table, like I said, I want to come to the table and discuss this, and the horse went, oh, screw you, because I know how you humans are. It took off and left me, but it stayed, you could see, it stayed on that circle until they understand the fact that, see, that horse already understood the fact that running away doesn't, so he's like, well, what do you got to offer? And you see I'm sitting on the mounting block, and I got the flag, and all I'm doing is just kind of bouncing the flag, kind of like twiddling my thumbs. I'm just waiting here in the middle. Here I am at the negotiating table. When you're ready, you come on over here, because we can't settle anything with you going around like this. And that horse eventually comes into the center of the circle. But I only got that on one video clip that I know of that I can remember. And I'm thankful that I actually videotape a lot of this stuff and save it. Because there's only been about 5 horses, no more than 5 horses, that have actually given me the circle. That's when they're unsure. The other horses, when they're done being stupid, running around saying, I want everything my way, they just come to the table. So you hardly ever see that actual circling. Something that a horse gives to you, if you give him the freedom to. And not every horse will do it. Very seldom. Very few horses will do it. Like I said, out of all the horses I've done, been 5. So that's the vicious circle. Right, buddy? Hey, what do you mean? My clipboard's fancier than yours. Here, you have the fancy one, and I'll keep the crappy brown one. See, it's got my name on the bottom. See? Yeah. Oh, not happy with that, huh? You want it to say Indy. Well, push it away then. Push it away. The horse has to actually have a thought process going on. They can't stay on a nice circle like that without being in a thinking mode. So she is thinking the whole time. She's also thinking, I don't like what you got in mind. I said, okay, well, just try what you want. But we have to be together. So staying on the circle, she is with me. Because if she wasn't thinking about being with me, she would run off. So we'll see what happens.
You know what I mean? Every time I go to videotape this kind of stuff, the horse is already to the point. He's a little bit nervous. He doesn't want to totally be here, but he is staying here.
Did you want me to pause that?
No. No, because if she doesn't, I don't know what she's going to do. She may not run off.
Do you want me to just leave it?